All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of The Creative Pathways. I am Joseph, your host for today. And for those of you that are new joining us live, Creative Pathways is an outlet for us creatives to kind of just get to know more about the industry and also just get to know each other's stories. We have a wider range of people ranging from college-age students to full-on creative professionals. So, use this opportunity to kind of just explore more and, listen to what we have to say. With that being said, today's guest, we have a very, very special guest, Mando Rayo. He is executive producer of, you may know this show, the United Tacos of America, here on the Rey Network. His brand is really all about food storytelling and sharing his culture through food and helping others know more about his culture and also just, kind of develop that love for food and culture and, just be authentic as we can be. More so, even though he's an amazing storyteller, he's also an amazing person. I'm also having the chance to intern him with on our new YouTube channel called Identity Productions, which takes his vision even further. So also feel free to check Identity Productions out. We just launched yesterday and we would love the support as well. But with that being said, before we bring Mando on, we are going to be introducing just a few little teaser videos of the work he's done. And so without further ado, here is some clips of United Tacos of America.
A comer tacos!
I'm Jared Nace.
I'm Mando Rayo.
And we're taco journalists on an epic journey exploring taco culture in the United States.
Everywhere we go, they're like, really? They have tacos there? You tilt the head, not the taco.
Mando approved.
You follow the people will lead you to food.
In such a divisive society that we live in, food is the one thing that all humans have in common.
America. México. Mexico.
Thing. Worlds collide.
Welcome to the United Tacos of America. Vamos a los tacos.
On this edition of Taco Lab, to sauce or not to sauce?
That is the question.
Taco number one, taqueria style carnitas. To sauce or not to sauce?
Sauce.
Sauce. Taco number two, a fusion Asian beef bulgogi taco. To sauce or not to sauce?
No sauce.
It's already sauced.
Taco number three, campechano. To sauce or not to sauce?
Sauce.
Definitely sauce.
Don't try this at home, kids. This is science.
And in this corner, we have Phoenix Star.
You get in there. You turn that Phoenix Star into a Death Star.
Come on, you can do this. You can do this. I got a taco for you.
You need a taco?
Get that out of my face. Go get him. Go get him.
Taco tip number 323.
Never underestimate the power of the taco. The events you're about to witness are true.
Real stories, real crimes.
Real tacos.
Crimes against tacos. Case 171, the tortilla tosser.
Woo! Do you know that the tortilla has like 30 grams of carbs? I'm not eating no tortilla.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Seems like you dropped something.
Oh,
Do not mess with the taco police.
You've committed crimes against tacos.
How many carbs have you eaten today?
14.
That's not enough.
Oh my God, are we going to taco jail?
No, sorry, please.
You're gonna get away with a warning just for today. Let us show you the proper way to eat a taco.
But that's my fork.
Are you gonna recycle
Get it out
that?
of here.
Wait.
I know you're a beginner, but you put the tortilla in your hand and you slap the carne, and then you munch down.
The tortilla is the foundation of any taco.
Yo, our bad, officers.
Don't disrespect the taco.
Yeah.
Tune in next time for more crimes against tacos.
So much. Taco tip number 504.
You never leave your house undressed.
So don't leave your taco undressed either.
How to dress your taco.
Step 1.
Cebolla,
Step 2.
cilantro,
Step 3.
limón,
Step 4.
salsa.
Because no one wants to see you or your taco naked. Taco tip number 312. Skincare, the natural way.
I got my own. Manteca. Not just for carnitas anymore.
If you want to cook barbacoa, you got to start with a pozo. That's a hole
In the ground
in the dirt.
with fire. Fire set. Time to pray to the barbacoa god. Do we have a burlap sack?
They're right in there in the water.
They're coming.
Get them.
It's juicy. Oh, so good.
Perfect.
Yeah, right?
Taco tip number 718. Things you can fold in New York City.
You can fold your slice of pizza.
You can fold your clothes at a laundromat.
And when you're done reading, you can fold your newspaper.
When you fold your tortilla,
It becomes a taco.
are you tired of long, painful days grinding masa on your matate? Don't throw your back out. Throw your nixtamal into the grindo magic. It just takes one finger. Woo, woo. There's so much coming up. That's it, folks. It's like magic. 15 easy payments of $19.99. Taco tip number 512. Don't throw your plastic bags away.
Use them to press your tortillas, güey.
Taco tip number 859.
The many uses of corn,
It's in everything.
like gasolina, toothpaste,
Corn on the cob,
elote,
bourbon, and of course, corn tortillas. What's up, man?
It's like a sauna in here.
Deep Thoughts by Mando Rayo.
I can't make everyone happy. I'm not a taco.
Deep Thoughts by Mando Rayo.
Do you think tacos think about me as much as I think about them?
Deep Thoughts con Mando Rayo.
Mi panza dice no, pero los tacos dicen sí.
1, 2, 3 tacos don't get jelly. These tacos here about to go in my belly. Chicharrone dust, you know it's a must. Eat them pig skins all in your...
No, salud.
Hello, con tiki.
Salud con tiki.
All right, guys. So I was looking at the comments in the chat. I guess we're all hungry at this point. I guess that's the power of tacos, right? So without further ado, I want to introduce to you guys the man, the myth, the legend, Mando Rayo. Welcome. How are you? Oh, Mando, I think you're muted.
There you go. Here I am.
All right, cool. All right, we can hear you now.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, Mando. I think we're all hungry after your trailers. I think we all just want to go out and be taco explorers ourselves now, huh?
Right.
Yes.
Y'all need
Yes.
this kind of taco background, though.
Oh, where'd you get it?
A friend of mine, Ernesto, he's a muralist, and he made this for one of our studios.
It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, welcome to today's talk. We're really excited to have you here. The purpose of the Creative Pathways, as I said earlier, is to kind of just, share your story and kind of with the rest of the creative population here, and kind of just tell us about you and tell us how you got to where you are. Tell
Sure.
us what inspires you.
Yeah. Well. First of all, thank you, Jojo. Thank you, Carl, for inviting me. To this talk. I'm excited. To talk about my lifelong dream of eating tacos. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, and but I've been in Austin for 20 plus years. And to be honest, doing what I do, I call myself, I'm a self-proclaimed taco journalist. Because when I started writing, there wasn't really a place, I think, or even people that look like me that can tell stories around food and culture and the people. And that's always been kind of my interest and my passion to represent culture in the way that is truly reflected in communities. And so, yeah, I started writing, I don't know, maybe about 15 years ago, something like that. And it was, it kind of happened. I always was like, I'm a home cook, and I still, I'm always cooking, pretty much anything. And so, but people would always ask me, hey, Mando, where can I get, good taco in Austin? And then I would say, there's no good Mexican food in Austin because I'm from El Paso. We got real Mexican food. But no, Austin has some good food. And so I would like point people to like, oh, you got to go to, this place and this place over here on Riverside, to the east side, to the north side, in the Rumberg area. And so, from that, I kind of started putting my kind of the way I think and talk into actual writing. And so I'm not, I didn't go to school for this. I'm kind of like, developed my own writing skills just along the way. I do English, I do Spanish, but definitely plenty of Spanglish. And so I just want to, I want to represent, the way my true experiences, come through. And so part of that is Spanglish is a big piece of it. It's like that duality of living here, having those Mexican roots, living here in the United States, and what does that look like, and especially here in Texas. And so I started writing. A friend of mine, Jared, who's my partner in the tacos, as you saw him in the video. We're both taco journalists. They started the blog Taco Journalism. I joined the team, and just started doing things in my own way, and doing taco meetups, because I was like, hey, let's meet up with just different taco lovers out there and learn their stories, or really kind of get behind the taco, something that's just something that's beyond the Instagram post, but like, who are these people? Where do they come from? Where do those recipes come from? And honoring kind of them as storytellers themselves. So I never set out to be, as a taco journalist, I never set out to tell their stories. It was really important for us and for me to allow them to tell their own story. And then as well as building up, our platform for them to do that. And I've been fortunate, we have two taco books. In fact, working on the third one right now. It's Vitamina T for tacos. So it's a kid's book. So it's going to be a lot of fun on that project. And then, we've been afforded, the opportunity to keep telling these stories digitally. With my partner, Dennis Burnett. He's, kind of the director, the man behind kind of the camera, to tells me like, oh, your hat's wrong, Mando. Got to get a good screen behind you. And so it's really, we came together to really kind of tell those stories, through all these digital media assets, video, obviously. And it's funny because when we started the research for our Tacos of Texas book, we set out. We went to 10 cities across Texas, interviewed over 100 people, ate lots and lots of tacos, but we also captured a lot of interviews, video interviews, and a lot of great slow-mo taco shots. And we created basically a trailer for the book release. And actually people thought that was a documentary. It's kind of funny, but because we did that, it allowed us to apply for funding through PBS. And we made the digital series called The Tacos of Texas, which you can actually watch it now on YouTube. And so, and then after that, there was Rey Network sought us out, and we did United Tacos of America, which you saw some of the elements of the episodes. So with us, it's about storytelling. It's about understanding, we use the taco as the Trojan horse to bring people in to learn about culture, the food, and the people behind it. And so we talk about a lot of social justice issues like immigration to gentrification, representation in the media space. And so we do that through that storytelling approach through the United Tacos of America. And so our first season, we went to 8 cities. Some places you expect, like Los Angeles, and obviously being in Austin. But, we also went to Kentucky and Louisville. We went to Chicago and New York and the Rio Grande Valley. And so, but then for our second season, it actually hit during COVID last year. And we actually shot in studio in a kind of COVID safe zone, if you will. We shot 20 episodes, and that's actually going to be, it's actually premiering tomorrow, Thursday. We're going to put our first episode, which you are helping with me with that, Jojo. So look out for that as well. But at the core, I wanted to make sure that our stories were being told by people that have largely been ignored, I would say. It's immigrants, often it's people of color, Mexicans, Latinx, Blacks, Asians, across the board. And ultimately, that's my goal as a producer, to bring those voices up and allow them to tell their own stories. And I've been afforded the opportunity to do this in a sense for myself, but now with our new network, Identity Network, we want to, really showcase other people's stories as well. So that's kind of like, a roundabout way of telling kind of how I got started.
That's amazing. And, I think an important thing to note, for everyone to understand too, is that you're self-made. It's just, you had a vision in mind and you set out and you pursue that vision, and look where it's gotten you. And you've garnered so much support from others around you, and you've shaped, you've manifested your dream basically, and it's only getting better from here.
Yeah, thanks.
Like I said, guys, I've had the chance to work with Mando. I've just started working with him, but everything he says is 100% true. He and his team are very authentic, and they have a very sense, their sense of purpose is true and it's genuine, and they really do want to tell stories of others. And it's something that's very beautiful. But with that being said, I do see some questions popping up in the chat. Your first question is, do you see your content gaining traction among the non-Latinx population as well?
Yes, I do. I think people are attracted to certain things, and obviously food is a big piece of that. And that's why we say, tacos, is kind of a gateway, into the culture and those stories, and understanding kind of the people's, I think, differences, but also similarities. You know what I mean? And so we do get a lot of people that are, white people love tacos, man. And all kinds of people like tacos. It doesn't matter if you're in Texas, in California, United States, or global, people know, the term taco, and, they know what it is. And so we bring people in that way, in a fun, and we don't when we talk about a lot of the social justice issues, we don't hit them kind of, we kind of use a way that, really bringing in the food first, and then getting them to understand the story and the people in that way. So I think part of that is our audience is definitely multicultural, definitely people of color, but it's also definitely white America. They want to know hey, how do I cook this thing? How do I what is the difference between corn and flour tortilla? How can I make a different style of salsa? And so for us, our goal is not only to entertain, but as well as to educate. And these different ways, and not one way is, we don't feel like one way is the best way, but it's hey, let's figure out all these different methods of making this food or talking about food. and moving forward with that storytelling. But Jojo, I want to say just one thing. You mentioned about how kind of I developed my company and the show and all that. I definitely did not do it by myself. It's like, for me, it takes a village. And I've had a lot of support. And yeah, there's definitely been some hurdles, I would say, but I just kind of just keep driving at my vision for it, and then slowly it actually has grown that way. But it is definitely thinking about who are the people that have supported me kind of across the board and believed in this type of storytelling. So it definitely takes a village.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there's so much work, like even just observing from the outside looking in, there's so much that goes into it. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, it's okay to ask for help, right? It's okay to, it's okay to just, whenever you need help, people are willing to help you if you just put yourself out there and you have faith in yourself. So awesome vision. I think there's another question as well. Let me check. Okay, yes. So from Carl, actually. So Carl asked, can you talk about the importance of building a community around your work? How did you go about it?
Sure, yeah. So my background is actually in grassroots organizing. Just growing up in the Latino neighborhoods in El Paso, and then coming here to Austin and getting to know people and understanding kind of who they are, where they come from, kind of walk in their shoes type of approach. I mean, that's like, at the core, community organizing is understanding people and where they're coming from. And I think through my storytelling, I wanted to make sure that was represented as well. So it was like this grassroots approach to building this storytelling kind of method to ensure that, people's voices were at the table, So part of that is I really kind of see this as, while I'm behind the scenes, I'm the producer, but in front of the camera when we're talking about tacos, sure, I'm in front of the camera, but it is all about who can, fit at the table. And if we need more room to make that table bigger, well, then let's do it, And so because I have seen that, a lot of when you think about when people talk about Mexican food, or even like, just general food from, people of color, a lot of the interviews are done by white chefs and as the experts, because they've done their homework and what have you. And granted, yeah, maybe they have, and they do it with respect. That's great. But I'm more about asking the abuela about, why did you do that? How did you do that? It's about talking to your grandmother and then getting that approval, and it's part of that community building that it takes more time. Definitely more time. It's really focused on relationships. So understanding, what is the story? How can I make you feel comfortable to tell that story? But then building it up as well. It's like, hey, as you can see, like, if there's a difference between our style of show versus something you might see on the Food Network. So our style is like, we're gonna go talk to mom and pop shop. We're gonna talk to immigrants. We're gonna talk to taqueros and taqueras, we're not just going to talk to the chefs, and so for us, it's about bringing all those communities together to represent themselves, really. And then obviously once we have this good product, is sharing the love, sharing like, look, the people are experts, they're experts in their own right, and giving them the credit, where credit is due. And so I think part of that is, showcasing, the different people, like the people in our show. Some people, we do interviews in Spanish, we do interviews in English. We go into ranches and dig holes ourselves, as you saw in the preview video. And a lot of who we get, and a lot of who we do have our contacts with. It's also word of mouth. I don't see myself as the expert. And it's finding those local kind of community people that know the community, know the landscape, know what great taquerias are. Like, there's different people that we reach out to, and usually they're usually happy to help, and that definitely it helps when we're like, hey, you want to be on our show?
Nice. Next question is, let's see, let me read that. How do you create your stories? So is there a certain formula or storyboard that you use to tell engaging stories?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it starts with just, you have an idea, write it down. I mean, that's at the core. It's like, oh, I have this concept. Write it down, share it with others. Don't hoard it or try to keep it to yourself, because the way I see things is where you write that idea down and you share it with others, that idea grows. And so for me, it kind of starts that way, and really kind of thinking about, where can this idea go? And does it have legs and what have you? And then you can get into like the planning of it. You have like, a brainstorm with your team of like the concept and what it'd look like. And then making sure that your team ask hard questions, and we're not just doing things that are just comfortable, that are just like, all right, but how can we take it to the next level? You know what I mean? And so, but then part of that process is definitely, I have a writer that I work with, Trey Gutierrez, who's a local writer, and he's our story producer. So me and him work basically hand in hand together to develop, the stories. What are the stories? And kind of big picture to kind of like, all right, let's talk about the issues and who we're going to connect with. And then at the end of the day, what are we teaching people? What is the outcome of that? And then we definitely start kind of that storyboarding element to it, and then as well as who needs to be part of that story. And then it kind of goes from there. So there definitely is a structure to it, but it starts, with that idea up here that it might be yours, it might be somebody else's. And so how do you work together to kind of like flush it out?
Okay. Yeah. So I definitely agree with you that it is important to have some sort of structure, because, there's just with something so big, it's just, there's a lot that can happen with it, a lot that can go, a lot of, directions it can go. But I guess personally speaking, a question I have is, do you have to tailor it based on, because, it's a story. And so all stories kind of, they can have similar themes, but each story is unique. So then when you're working on, making, what's the story, do you have to take like you have to like factor in different stuff that's unique to that story in specific?
Oh, completely. You do. Yeah, you do. You definitely have to figure out, who is the story for? Are you telling the story for the community that really wants that recognition, and they may know those stories, but they're not kind of out there kind of with the masses? Or are you telling the story to educate others and inform them around understanding people maybe outside of their own world, their own culture? So you got to kind of think about those kind of things, so you have to think about, who the story is for. And so it's everything from, like we just launched a couple of cooking shows. So, we have one called Tex-Mex Queen. And so people that love Tex-Mex food, that comes all walks of life and that kind of thing, So I think part of that is really kind of thinking about, whether it's something that's like a how-to, a cooking show, to more of the story element of kind of the United Tacos piece as well. Or you're trying to inform people like, hey, what are people's perception of Texas, and how do we flip that on its head? Because the Texas I know is not just, cowboys and, horses and whatnot, but it's people, it's different people of color that come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different foods. immigrants. And so yeah, you have to really kind of think about, who you're telling the story to.
Dang, that's crazy. So there's so many like parts of it, and there's so many, moving parts. There's so many aspects of it. How can you choose? What's your favorite part? What's your favorite process, like part of the process? What maybe, what did you start out with and you ended up liking, or just what's your go-to?
Yeah, my favorite part of the process is actually in production. So talking to the people, it's like that's where I get the most out of it is when I talk to somebody, I learn something new. We connect, we understand each other, and all over tacos. So, but I think that before then, like that's at the core. It's like I want to go talk to people. I want to talk to people that that's a small taqueria, in Lexington, Kentucky, or I want to talk to somebody that's behind, working kind of behind the line, a line cook, not necessarily the chef. So for that is like, for me, that's kind of like, that's my, where I get a lot out of it. But I do love the brainstorming phase where it's like, oh, I got this great idea, so it's just a show on tacos and blah, 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 And so the brainstorming aspect of it, I think is for me is really where I also thrive because it's like, sky's the limit, you can do all kinds of things. And so, and like, it just starts with that one spark, and then just, how do you go, how do you take it and to fully form a story?
That's crazy. I was about to say, because like whenever I think, those two parts that you mentioned are also my favorite parts, the ideating and also just like being able to talk to people as well. Yeah. But I think there was a question that kind of relates to this. So it is, how do you reset and keep going when things don't go the way you planned? And what's a source of inspiration for you? But then also kind of another question that was posted was, because one of your favorite parts of the phase is just in the production phase and being able to talk to people. So for the people that are at home right now, due to the pandemic, are there tutorials on your YouTube channel that can help them stay connected?
Yeah, I think, so let me try to address the first couple of questions.
Okay.
Oh, how do you reset? I mean, you just have to be flexible and okay with change. I mean, that's pretty much it, because you can have a plan, and especially when you're traveling, you can have a plan, but those plans change depending on the situation and the people you're working with. So you just have to be flexible, and you're like, okay, well, because if you let these barriers kind of get in your way, it's kind of like in the forest is the way I see it. It's like, if you take this path that's going straight into a forest, you're going to run into a tree. But if you use the trail, then you're going to get around that, right? Or you may have to create your own path to get to kind of your destination. And that's kind of the way I see it. And so definitely the flexibility and being okay with change, even though it may be uncomfortable, you kind of have to push through that. I'll give you a good example. We were in McAllen in the Valley. And so we had we had like a ranch that we went to, and then we had another one that we were going to go into, this mom and pop restaurant, and then that did not work out, because of a personal situation with the restaurant and what have you. And we're like, oh shoot, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with it? We start shooting the next day, and so talk about like pivoting, I guess. So I was like, all right, well, I know about, I actually texted a couple of friends personal contacts that live in the valley. They know it well. They said, try this place or this place. Went to the first place, had some breakfast tacos, talked to the owner, talked to the manager, and then we started, kind of developing a rapport and talking about, hey, we're looking to shoot, video or a show or what have you. And, I think part of that is going in and just, telling your story and connecting with them. And but by that afternoon, we were shooting in that restaurant, so you have to be flexible. You got to think on your feet, and you got to, forge your own path, if you will. And so I think definitely a sense of inspiration for me are the people that we talk to, people that are doing it day to day. There's the cocineras that get up at 4 a.m. so they can open up the shop at 5. So that way by 6 o'clock, the working class is out there and they can go get, their tacos on. So I think for me, the sense of inspiration is the people that you normally don't see, and it's like, it's not necessarily, for me, it's not necessarily the chefs, but it's like your everyday workers. They have, their lives that they're living. That's the way they make their money, and I want to support them, and I get that inspiration from them as well. So, and then the follow-up question around, what was it? How about? Yeah, I mean, there's I guess depending on the types, there's a lot of you can learn on YouTube, So we're starting with our series where with cooking, some cooking videos. We have Ate, which is Asian recipes, hacks and cheats. That's coming out today or came out today. And then there's Tex-Mex Queen. We have United Tacos of America. So we're always putting things out there. But there's so much stuff that you can learn on YouTube, where if I don't know something, I'm like, okay, let's Google it, So I don't know if that exactly answers what kind of tutorials people are looking for, but definitely if you're looking for, content around food and culture, definitely, you can always reach out to us to provide some resources or insights, definitely. But I wasn't clear if it was a specific tutorial question, but
I think that answers it. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is amazing. YouTube is the power of the 21st century. Am I right? So we do have one more question. What hardships have you overcome that you would tell your younger self?
I would say use your voice. Don't let other people drown out your voice. I think that's what I'm really focused on, is not only the power of your own voice and telling your own story in your own way. I learned along the way a lot. And now I'm able to, use my own voice in the way I want to. But I didn't know that when I was a kid or when I was like 20. So what I would say is, you have the passion. If you have, the belief in yourself, use your own voice. Don't let other people, discount your own experiences, because I think that's super valuable in what you bring to the table. In a sense, your lived experience. And so that's what I want. I want more people, especially people of color, where you do see that, some of those voices, are being maybe drowned out. I want them to, don't wait for permission. Just do it. Use your own voice.
I think that's a beautiful way to end off. Just it's very empowering, and it sends that message that, that we can, whoever we are, we can just as long as you said we have a voice and we have a passion and a mission, a purpose, then putting that passion and purpose into action, then we can achieve any hardships.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Mando, for coming to today's talk. I'm pretty sure a lot of people, are pretty hungry now after this talk.
Yes, and support your local taqueros. Sure.
Yes, supporting local businesses. Whether you're in Austin, Houston, Texas, not even in the U.S., just support local food businesses. It's more than just food. It's a way of storytelling, and it's they're people. Food is an extension of people and their lives. So once again, thank you so much, Mando, for being here. And feel free to connect with Mando. I think they posted it, yes, in the chat somewhere. Yes.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on identity on Instagram is identity.productions or United Tacos of America, either of those as well. And look for our new shows coming out.
Thank you. And we have another comment. Okay, so someone wanted me to give the handle for my flan business. So Charming Chango on Instagram, give it a follow. If you're here in the Austin area and you love some local, authentic, delicious flan, message that, and then I can go fill your orders up. So, yep, that wraps it up. Thank you so much again, Mando.
Thank you all.
All right. Everyone that is here, all the viewers that are left, thank you so much for joining today's talk. Like I said in the beginning, we have a huge array of people. We have people that are in college and young creatives. So to those people, join our CLA. It's a chance for you to get to know more about the creative industry and kind of just hone your skills as a creative. So the CLA, Creative Leadership Academy, check that out. And for our creative professionals in the chat, just thank you guys for attending. Glad that you guys are able to hear the story of another creative professional as well. And also, part of E4 Youth, we are happily welcoming any donations. Any donation helps. It keeps our program alive, but also you're contributing to the next generation of creatives. So thank you for your consideration. And without that, thank you guys and have a good rest of your day.